Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Reverend.
Thank you. I have poor lighting in my office.
Sorry.
I hope you can still see my face.
I can see your face.
Yes, smile for us, smile. There you go. We see you.
And the second thing is that I am joining on my phone, so I really the agenda is so tiny. So I'm going to need some help from the district manager.
Okay, so
you're all welcome.
We'll go down the list.
Yes. So we have the quorum for the meeting.
We have quorum, yes. So the first item on the agenda, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining Bronx Community Board 2 Franchise License and Permit Committee. We have a lengthy agenda, but there's a lot of changes that are going on here, Reverend. So I'll just go down the list. Item number 1 is to review a new application for a licensee at Crab de Jour located at 925 Hunts Point Avenue. They're looking for a full license. They have recorded music. The establishment will have a full food menu. There's no outdoor permit. We've been since August trying to get them to come to the committee. They reached out today that they're not ready for us yet and requested to come in October.
No, that's not them. They are saying that their client is retracting.
Retracting, yes, I'm sorry.
Further notice.
Until further notice. So we left this item on the agenda just so that we can go on record. And once they submit the application again to us, we'll put it back on, whether that's October, November, or whenever that comes back up.
So Ralph, just for the record, so you're saying that the Crab de Jour is removing they're removing their license application?
Correct.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Correct. And we have that on an email from them. So
Thank you.
and if I can kindly ask people to mute themselves until it's their part. So item number 2 is a review of a renewal application of El Patón Bar and Restaurant, number 2 Corp, located at 576 Southern Boulevard. They're applying for a full license. They will have recorded music. The establishment will have a full food menu. There's no outdoor permits for this. We have their license number as 1273362. We do have El Patón on with us, and I know they're muted, and I just requested them. So there has to be a way that they can unmute themselves. Can you hear us from El Patón? I know they're on.
Ralph,
Yes.
their address 576 Southern Boulevard, that's the one by El Valle?
No, this is El Patón. It's the Mexican restaurant between 149th and the Avenue of St. John.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think they know how to unmute themselves.
Can you unmute them?
I tried. I'm not able to. Let me just see something. Hold on.
Okay.
So it's not allowing me on my end. And I had told them I had muted them because there was a lot of background noise for them.
Maybe they should just hang up and call back in, and we'll wait for them. If that's possible.
If they can do that, that'd be great. If they can hear us, if they can just call back, because they had a 212 number and I changed their name.
Well, while we're waiting for that, Ralph, for the first application, are we gonna send a notice to SLA saying that they're retracting, so that way they don't try to get by?
Yes.
Yes, we'll do that.
And while we do that, can we also say that we are tabling their application?
That we are what, Reverend?
Tabling.
Okay.
Tabling the.
Yeah, we're tabling it.
Yes.
Well, they're retracting it, so we'll just wait for them to get back to us with it.
Yes. And like Cynthia said, we will send a letter to the liquor authority informing them so that they don't go behind us, please.
Yeah, we'll forward. I suggest we forward their email saying that they're retracting the liquor license, and that way it's it's documented.
Right. Ralph, while we're waiting for El Patón, why don't we talk about Chipotle?
About what you cut off?
Item number 3.
Number 3,
Item number 3, review of a new application for licensee Chipotle Mexican Grill of Colorado, LLC, located at 1030 7 Boulevard. They're applying for a wine, beer, and cider. They will have recorded music. The establishment will have a full food menu. There's no outdoor permit for this location. So they reached out and requested to come next month, that they're not ready for us. I told Cynthia, leave this item on the agenda so we can go on record. We've been also asking them since August to come before us.
Yeah, and I just went through the email and they did send something while it was hacked, so. But they did reach out today saying that they want to be on October's email, on October's agenda.
And we gave them the date of October 12th.
Yes.
So we notified them way in advance for this. We've notified everyone on the agenda today since August. So I just want to go on record for that.
Mr. Manager, so the application is not due for renewal until then.
It's a new application.
Okay.
They're not actually at the location just yet.
Okay,
so
great.
What they're doing is they want to open up and probably already have it. But Chipotle is a franchise, is a national restaurant. There's Chipotles all over the place. Every Chipotle that I've been to, do have beer. They do sell beer. So it's just part of the cuisine that they also have. All right, we have a new caller, 917. Good evening. Can you identify yourself?
Yes, this is El Porton. I'm calling back.
Perfect. Thank you. Stay on the line right now. So let's jump back to item number 2, and I already read it. Sergeant Guglielmo?
Yep, I'm here.
Is there any issues with this location, 576 Southern Boulevard, El Porton?
No, we have one incident a while back in regards to, I believe it was an unlicensed security guard. We went back to follow up, and they had corrected the problem. So that was the only issue.
I don't know if the committee has any questions for them.
Sergeant, please, can you help us? How are their cameras working?
Wait, say that again?
Their cameras.
I have not inspected their cameras. I don't know if they have cameras or not. I have not inspected their cameras.
Yes, we do.
How many cameras you have?
16.
How many inside? How many outside?
14 inside, 2 outside.
Okay, Sergeant, please, we would like you to confirm that for us before the general board meeting.
Yeah, sure. If Cynthia can put my phone number in the chat, and you guys can just reach out to me, we can set up an appointment, and I can go do a site survey.
Yeah, they're on the phone also, Sergeant. So what we'll do is we'll make sure that they have your number. They'll
Okay.
reach out to you within the 2 weeks. El Porton, listening to this, right?
Yes.
So we want you to call Sergeant Guglielmo. We'll provide you his number and an email, so he can just go do an inspection over there, a visit, a site visit.
Yes, that's fine.
And also,
Sure, just let me know.
Also, we would like the sergeant to take a look at your incident record book, please.
The logbook.
Sorry.
The logbook, yes.
Question.
So,
To Sergeant Guglielmo, all I want to know is, you stated that they corrected the non-licensed security?
Yeah, we had an issue. Somebody had called one night about they were open past the curfew.
Right.
So this was during the days of the curfew. So we went to go investigate it, and they were actually in the process of closing up at that time. So, but when I checked the security guard's license, he wasn't a licensed security guard. So, but then we went back the following week, and they corrected the issue. The guy who was on the door had a proper license.
Do we have any other incidents outside of that with this location?
Not to my knowledge, no, not in the as far as the NYPD.
Okay.
I just want to make sure that it's that correct address, because we have another agenda item that's right across the street.
Wait a minute, hold on a second.
I think you're
What's this?
confusing it for the one across the street because that's the one you said last time didn't have security.
Hold on a second. What's the address in this place? 576
Yeah,
That's 576.
Southern Boulevard. Oh, you know what? You're right. That's not the place. It's a different place. So that's the place across the street.
Okay.
So El Patron, no, we don't have anything there.
All right, good. So I'll correct that.
Yeah, I
Okay.
apologize for that. That was
No, no
actually the
worries.
bakery. The bakery was the spot that we had the problem with.
Yeah.
Yeah, the owner's on there. He's on the agenda, so we'll
He's
get to that
next.
also.
What is that? Nachos, palenta?
Noches de Palenque.
That's it. There you go. See, my Spanish is a little rusty.
Mine too.
All right,
don't
so
worry.
El Patron, nothing there.
Great.
Oh,
Thank you,
okay.
sir.
I apologize for that.
So while we are still on this, do we have the information for the security company, the contract?
They didn't send it in.
don't forget, Reverend, that we say either licensed security guard or they have to have a licensed bonded security company. So
So what have they submitted to us?
Their confirmation of being here.
Yeah, this is a renewal, Reverend. It's not
renewal.
We have it on record.
We have that stuff already on.
Yeah, we have all their information in the office. I'll when I'm in the office tomorrow, I can look into that.
I have it.
So is the information current? Have they changed the security company?
Have you changed your security company, Polton?
I haven't changed anything.
Great.
In case you do change, please, can you forward the information to the office?
Yes, of course.
Thank you. In the absence of any complaint or any outstanding issue with the establishment, can somebody move a motion for approval of the permit to the general board?
Either Barbara or Evelyn has to do that, Reverend.
Pastor John,
Yes, ma'am.
where is the ATM machine at?
ATM.
ATM. We don't have ATM. Okay. All right.
Thank you. So
Okay.
can somebody move a motion?
I'll motion it.
Seconded by
Evelyn,
Evelyn. Are you with us?
I see her name.
I think she's on mute.
No, she just unmuted herself. Evelyn?
Okay.
She
Okay,
said,
all in favor? Yes.
Yes, I'm in favor.
Any no? Any abstention? The motion passes. Congratulations.
To come
Thank
to
you.
the full
The
board.
district manager will leave you with further information.
Yeah, they have to come back to the full board. So that will be on the 29th. And the office will provide the information to El Potong. El Potong, do you have any questions for us?
No, thank you so much.
Yes,
Thank
so
you.
we'll see you back on the 29th, okay? Thank
Well,
you.
if it's possible, if they can just fill out the form that I send them and send it back before the full board, because it is a newer, updated application.
The one that was attached to the email.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Yes, I will forward it.
Okay.
Thank you.
also, don't forget, Ralph, or Cynthia, please remind them of the date of the full board meeting because
I'll email them after this.
Right.
okay, because
29th, to let him know now. It's the 29th at 6 p.m.
Okay, thank you.
All right,
if
thank you.
if you're not on, this will not be put on the agenda. We will not be voting on this.
Gotta be
Okay.
present for that meeting, okay?
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you. Have a good day.
okay.
You too. Bye
All
bye.
right, so, Mr. Chair, moving on, we just went over item number 3 about Chipotle. So item number 4 is the review of renew application for Las Palanoia Way under the trade name Tequila and Mezcal located at 1292 Westchester Avenue. They're applying for a full license. They have recorded music. This establishment will have a full food menu. There is no outdoor permit for this location. We have the license number as 1267089. We do have a representative, Mr. Thomas Burke. I don't know if there's anyone else from this establishment that's also on.
Yes, the manager is here as well, I believe, Salvatore Negreros.
Yes, okay, I see him here.
Thank you. You're welcome. We'll proceed with a report from the sergeant.
Before we go to Sergeant Guglielmo, I just want Mr. Burke
Yes,
and Mr. Negros to
Yes.
understand that we always go to the 4-1 precinct first to get any police reports that are out there concerning the establishment.
I understand that.
Thank you. Go ahead, Sarge.
Yeah, so we had multiple issues with this place, pre-pandemic, during the pandemic, and post-pandemic. I did multiple licensed business inspections, responded to multiple complaints from the community about the noise and the music. They were actually caught one night open during the pandemic with a full bar. They refused to open the door that night. We ended up having to call emergency services unit to gain entry to the bar. Also, they don't have it's not really a working kitchen. It's, I don't even know how to describe it. I wouldn't even describe it as a kitchen. So there was multiple issues with that place.
Thank you.
Chairman
Chairman,
John.
I also have the police department did provide us with a list of 911 calls or complaints at this location, starting from September 19.
Somebody's got a mic on and making a lot of noise. I'm sorry,
this-
Ralph.
Post-pandemic. This is pre-pandemic. Pandemic started in March of 2020. And this is going back to September, roughly 2 years. And it's 10 pages long of complaints that were received. On here, there's complaints, there's summonses, there's about 18 summonses that were given and 2 arrests at this location.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. Do we have a representative of the business that wants to speak to these issues?
Okay, I'm the representative and I'll speak for them. The licensee, the applicant tells me that the noise emanates from a, Twin Auto Sound at 1292 Westchester Avenue. It's 2 doors away. Twin Auto Sound installs sound systems in automobiles and keeps speakers outside of their business to promote their ability to install these high-end sound systems. The applicant tells me that she has no windows open to the street, no doors open to the street, and any music that they have is contained in the back of the premises, and that the noise that the complaints are about are not emanating from her premises. Now, she would certainly be willing to sign a stipulation that no noise whatsoever, no music whatsoever emanate from the premises. Now, I can't prove that it's not as the sergeant says, and it's not emanating from them, but that was their defense when I spoke to them and investigated the noise complaints. They did have some trouble pre-pandemic. They did get some summonses. Recently, they had 5 summonses. My associate, Thomas Tuffy, took those summonses to criminal court, and they were all dismissed. So yes, the applicant has had difficulties in the past, but she is doing her best to clean up her act. Of course, she has struggled like everyone else through COVID, and she did have a COVID violation. The employees weren't wearing face masks. And then earlier, she had a violation from the SLA for an unregistered trade name. She used a trade name and didn't get a a DBA certificate for it. They did have a disorderly premise back in 2019, but as far as the history with the SLA, those are the only 3 violations they've had. So that these noise complaints and other complaints that the sergeant mentioned were not getting communicated to the SLA. Well, I've represented them for a few years now, and I have handled all of these complaints, and that's all they brought to my attention. So, you're right, they do have a bad.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Now, opening, not opening the premises when our law enforcement is there, what is that?
And that was a terrible mistake. It seems that at that time, what they were doing was watching a fight, and they weren't serving the public. It was the employees. That's what
But that's why they're supposed to have security to watch their door and make sure that all of that is in control, because at all times there should be a security at the door, whether they're watching a fight or not. There have to be a security guard there of any emergencies and stuff that's going on.
However, in answer to your question, they're not permitted to have security personnel as far as the SLA is concerned. It's
Well,
not
with all the stuff they doing, they really need
But it
one.
was on our stipulations.
It's
on our stipulations, and they agreed to it back in 2019. So, whether
and not only that, it is a city ordinance that anybody that is security must be a licensed security officer at the door.
Right. There was no security whatsoever.
Right.
So they didn't have an unlicensed security officer. They had no security.
So, Mr. Burke, understanding that they signed, and you said they can sign another stipulation, they've already signed 4 stipulations with us in their history, okay? And each time, each history states no loud music, okay? And they must have a licensed security officer. They, again, continue to violate. And the fact is, the precinct is not going to be creating work that's not there. They're not going
I agree with you. I was a cop in the city for 30 years. I agree with you wholeheartedly about that. They're not making any work that doesn't really exist. So all of those things are based on, in fact, yes, I do agree with you. I do agree that I didn't know that they had signed stipulations previously and ignored those stipulations. However, in order for them to have a security guard, they must do an application for a change of method of procedure with the New York State Liquor Authority. That must be changed there. Even though they stipulated to you, what they didn't do after that was go to the authority and put in an application for change of method of operation. But that would have to be done before they could have security guards, because if you have a security guard and that is not on your license, the fine is very steep.
Do they have a full license?
Yeah,
yes, they have a full liquor license.
We have Cynthia with her hand raised.
It's required.
We have Cynthia with her hand raised. Cynthia?
It's required by our stipulation that anyone with a full license should have a security. They know that. So it's not something that we're asking them to do right now. They have been in business for quite a long time, and they have been dealing with the community board for many years. So they understand the requirements, the stipulations. So ignorance is not an excuse.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right, Reverend. You're absolutely right about that.
Not only that,
however, what they failed to do
here. There's a lot of issues here. They were open during the pandemic when they weren't supposed to be open. And for the police department to have to get AESU involved to break down the door, that's
a very serious thing. I agree with you.
That's not in the interest of the community here, Mr.
Certainly
Burke.
is not.
And
Certainly
this is not the first time with this establishment, because they had Stacy Weiss prior. And we've been through multiple issues with this one establishment. And, you know, for them to be open during the pandemic when they should not have been open, you know, I got this list here. I'll bring it up on the screen of all of these 911 complaints to this address. You know, and even the stereo system where you're saying they close at a certain hour. These calls are coming in at 2, 3 in the morning for this establishment. That stereo place is already closed when these calls are coming in.
And Sarge,
just to clear this the little bit of confusion. So I do have an ongoing issue with Twin Auto Sound, which is 2 doors down from Tequila Mezcal. So that is definitely an issue. But I can tell you, having responded myself personally, the problem that we're, first of all, Mr. Burke, I don't know if he meant to misspeak or if he just doesn't know the layout of the bar. The bar does have a door that opens out onto the street. It's a door that's their main door that opens out onto Westchester Avenue.
Right.
They also have a rear exit door that opens out onto, I believe, Whitlock.
Avenue,
The problem, the problem that we were having was they were running a speaker so there's like a long hallway. The way the club is laid out, there's a long hallway that leads to the front door, that leads to the exit of the front door of the club. And they were running a speaker, and they would put the speaker by the door, and that was the music that was emanating, and people going in and out, because obviously you can't smoke in bars anymore. That was the majority of the complaining, was coming from when the door was opening and closing. The music was so loud that the residents were calling from across the street. There's a building directly across the street from the location. So just to clear up the music, anytime I went there for these complaints, it was not mistakenly made in regards to Twin City Auto. I'm not saying that there isn't an issue with Twin Auto. I have an issue with them as well. But every time we responded to the complaints from 1292, it was coming from 1290. I have an unmarked car with dark tinted windows, so I purposely do this with all the complaints. I'll pull up a half a block outside the location, and I'll just sit there in my car. And I remember multiple occasions that, there was music emanating from that tequila mezcal. And then they were open during the pandemic. That's how we found out during the pandemic, because somebody had complained about the music, which I found confusing because at that time bars and clubs were shut down. So we got there, and sure enough, I could hear the music emanating from inside the club. But that was the night actually that they refused to open the door. I had to call the issue to take the door. So
have they corrected that speaker on the door since your last inspection?
I haven't. We haven't really done an inspection in a while. They were open, then they weren't open. The last inspection I did, they still had the speaker on the door, and I think we summoned them. I think I gave them. I got to look back in my records, but I think we issued them like 5 or 6 summonses.
Yes, right. There were 5 summonses. You issued 5.
Yeah.
I'm looking also on December 20th, 2020. I think everything was shut down.
Everything was. That was when we were having the problem.
And they made some arrests here. And this guy, Negros Juarez, was arrested. Defendant was organizing member of an unlawful assembly operating a business after hours in violation of governor's orders due to COVID restrictions. These guys were open when they shouldn't have been open, and there was arrest. This is not in the interest of the community, Mr. Chair. I just want to go.
Thank you very much. I think we've had enough discussion on this.
Reverend John,
yes.
Reverend John, I just want Mr. Burke to understand that we, time after time, and I used to be the chair of this particular committee, and now I'm the chairman of the board. Time after time, we have always made and Mr. Negores understands this because he's always been at all the meetings with the board. Okay, he's not new. He's been there. All right. So him saying that he's the manager, he knows exactly what we're talking about. And I just wish to let everyone know that this is something that this community can no longer handle. We continue to get complaints from the residents on Longfellow, which is around the block. We get complaints from residents seeing people come in through the Whitlock side after hours. All right. And the proof is in the pudding when they were closed during the COVID time, and they were coming in through the Whitlock side. This is not a place that listens to the community. They feel they own that street. I don't care how they look at it. I know how the community is looking at it. The community is fed up with it. They don't want this anymore. They want this place closed down. They want it closed down. Even Paula Fields, our secretary, lives around the block or right up the block.
She's our treasurer.
Which is our treasurer. and has made dozens and dozens of complaints.
Mr. Chairman, I want to say that this is not really it is not really about any particular person. We've had numerous complaints from so many residents. We've had 311 phone calls. We've had reports from the police precinct about the continuous violations that we are having. And, you know, at this point, I just think that we should proceed to a vote. Let's, I want to make a motion of,
Pastor John.
yes.
Good evening. Before we go
everyone.
anywhere, can we please consider that Cynthia had something to say?
And I would like to say something also.
Okay, if you want to say something, please, can you raise your hand?
Cynthia spoke. I'm sorry. She did
So
have
that-
her hand raised.
Yeah, we need to
That's fine.
see.
I don't want to say anything anymore. Thank you.
Okay, anyone else want to say something?
Barbara, you wanted to say something?
Yes.
Go.
I just wanted to say that, in the past,
The fewer the less, please.
could you hear me?
The fewer the less, please.
Paula talking now. Paula is
Okay.
talking.
I just wanted to let it be noted that in the past that we had a lot of issues with this particular establishment and continue to have them. And it's really sad because the owner, not the one with the license, but the owner is genuinely a good community partner. And I spoke to her in reference to it, and the person who owns it says that the noise and all the double and triple parking is coming from the auto place, and the triple parking is coming from the Jamaican restaurant, which is not so. So I just wanted to be noted that the woman who owns it, she's a great community partner, but I told her the situation with the establishment and the person that she spoke to, I'm not sure if it's the owner or the manager or the supervisor, but they seem to claim that that was the issue. And I told her there's nothing that can be done because that's not the truth.
Thank you very much.
The community is been complaining about it over and over, and he seems to feel like he's getting a backlash from Hermosa, which is Hermosa been going for 7 years. So I just wanted to be
Thank you.
noted.
Thank you, Paula. I want to say that we are going by what we have on record.
Mr. Chair, I just want to know, we have 83 911 calls
Jesus.
in the
There's
last 2
nothing that can be
years,
done.
from September
Okay.
of 2019 to
So
right
God
now. We had a call last week.
Yeah, Reverend, may I say something?
Yes, please.
Now, someone just spoke on behalf of the owner, Auralia Mendoza, and said she is a good community partner. Is there any way we can resolve this so she doesn't lose her liquor license and her business and her livelihood?
Thank you, Mr. Block. This actually has nothing to do with the owner of the business. It has to do with the business itself. The owner may be a great person, a good person. She doesn't run the business. She's not there. And so we don't have an issue with the owner of the business.
Bye, Alex.
The problem,
it doesn't fit into my.
the problem we have is the way and the manner that the business has been running, which has become a nuisance to the community and has brought untold burden on our police department. So at this point, I would like somebody to move a motion on this particular issue so that we can vote and proceed. You can either move a motion for us to approve the application, or you move a motion for us to deny.
Evelyn? Hello?
Reverend John,
Yes.
you yourself can make the a motion,
Yes.
and either Barbara or Evelyn will second it. So
Yes,
you just explain. You can make a motion to approve, or a motion to deny, or object the application.
Okay. Yes. Based upon all the complaints we received, the 80-something complaints we received from 311, and based upon the outstanding violations, and based upon the report from the police precinct, I want to move a motion for us to deny them this application. Do I have anyone to second it?
Barbara, Evelyn? Hello, where's Bob?
Are they still on this call?
Yes.
Any want to second?
You hear me?
Who said yes?
Evelyn,
Yeah.
we can hear you, Evelyn.
Oh, okay.
Okay, all in favor? Yes.
All those in favor say aye.
Hi.
Let's
Hi,
see.
I'm here. I'm sorry, my call got messed up. I'm here.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any no? Any abstention? The motion to deny passes and will be referred to the executive, to the general board. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Reverend John, I also would like that, once the board has its final vote, which is on the 29th, I would like, for the district manager to, provide the 10 pages to the State Liquor Authority. And also, the recommendation to the State Liquor Authority that this board, would not approve the license.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And also, in addition to that, will be the report from the police precinct.
Mr. Chair, we have a board member, Maggie has her hand raised.
Yes,
On that
Maggie.
motion, it is settled. If it is on
I just
any
have a
other
general
issue,
question, so.
okay, if she has any question, but on that motion, that
Yes,
motion has been
yes.
settled. So
I
we
just
cannot go back to that.
I'm not saying for you to go back to it, but I'm just saying, being that they were doing everything illegal through COVID, now that we're denying them the license, how do we know that they're not gonna reopen behind our backs?
The police
Very
precinct,
good question.
the police precinct will take care of that. Thank you.
The precinct will keep it an observation on it, for the next 2 weeks. Sergeant Guglielmo, if you can assist us on that, that would be greatly appreciated. And we will make sure they have the right to stay open until, when is their license, over, Ralph?
Bear with me, I'll let you know right now.
9/30 of 2021.
Okay, so they have the right to continue operating until September 30th of this month. We are meeting the day before. We are meeting the day before their license expires. So we will be handling our, whatever, the board will probably go with the recommendation of this committee. And that being the case, I would ask that the district manager on the 30th, if possible, send a letter to the State Liquor Authority together with the 10 pages of complaints of the 81 911 calls, the violations that were issued by the precinct, all of the complaints that have been done by 311, and send it to the State Liquor Authority so that they can see the position of this community.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna notify them tomorrow of our vote pending on the 29th. I'll provide them the information because at times the State Liquor Authority will send a renewal automatically. So we want to make sure that that doesn't occur until the final vote.
Right, okay.
I'll make them
Good.
aware of that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do we have any other item on the agenda?
Yes. Item number 5, Pedro Ruiz has been invited back to the committee to discuss his business located at 561 Southern Boulevard. So this, Mr. Ruiz that came earlier, I think in June, to discuss a possible location he wanted to open up on Southern Boulevard. And then this is the area where this is the location where Sergeant Guglielmo was referencing to earlier regarding the unlicensed security guard. So I know Mr. Ruiz is on with us here now, and there was some follow-up that he needed to do. So we invited him back to the meeting.
Is that the business by Longwood near the police precinct?
No, he never. We can follow up with him now with that. He's on mute. I don't know if Mr. Ruiz can hear us. There you go. Thank you, Mr.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. So there's a couple of items here. The location you first, when we met in the spring on Southern Boulevard by Valle, you're no longer proceeding that?
No, I'm no longer pursuing that.
Okay. So then your business at 561 Southern Boulevard, there was some issues there with the security, and that's what Sergeant Guglielmo was making reference to earlier?
Yes, correct. So as the sergeant mentioned, we have licensed security at all times now. And we also contracted a company. I was waiting to get the contract so I could send it to you guys, but the company hasn't sent it to me. I guess they told me that whoever was in charge was I guess he was sick or on vacation, and they couldn't get it to me in time for the meeting.
So, do I understand that what you're saying is that you have a security company, but you don't have a contract with them?
Contract. I just don't have like a copy that I could forward to you guys. My manager was the one who had it, but he misplaced it, so then I had to call the company, get it remade so he can resend it, and they haven't been able to get it to me on time.
Do you have an idea how long you've been with the company?
Yeah, it's been a couple of months. I think almost right after we had our last meeting, I started looking. I hired some individual licensed security guards, but then I looked for a company that best fitted my business. So it's probably been like about, I'd say, 3 months.
Do you have the name of the company?
Yes, give me a second.
Wow.
It's McCall Risk Group.
You have your phone number?
Yes. 631 400 9111.
631.
400 911.
Okay.
Pastor John,
Yes.
that's the place that is running the therapy place inside of it now, right? Right next to Avaya?
No.
No.
So Barbara, this is what
it's
happened. They were going. He was looking to purchase that place,
Mm-hmm.
but he already has an establishment further down on Southern Boulevard by going near like Popeyes over there.
Yeah, I remember because we spoke to him the last time. I remember his meeting.
So he doesn't want to. He's not going to apply for the one that's by El Valle. He's gonna leave that one alone, and he's gonna focus on his business that's on the 149 section.
Okay, good, very good.
okay. So we are going to okay, all right. So all right.
Chair, Mr.
Sergeant?
Chairman Crespo has his hand raised.
Yeah, I wanted us to hear from Sergeant first before we hear from members of the board.
Yeah, Pastor John, that was just that was the one location. We had the one incident there. It was a one-time incident with the person on the door, the security guard that didn't have the license. But they corrected it the next time, and that was it.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, Mr. Crespo?
Yeah, I'd like to ask Mr. Ruiz, is that your last name?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd like to ask Mr. Ruiz, how is it that your manager has a copy of the contract when you're the principal owner? And these are records that you should be in possession of.
Yeah, so the thing is, I like to keep these things at the business, and for the last couple of months, I haven't been in at the restaurant. I have a newborn, so I've been trying to stay, you know, kind of because with the whole COVID and people not getting vaccinated, I've been trying to, you know, go certain days where there's less people. So, you know, I try to leave all that stuff there, so you know it doesn't, so I don't bring anything home just in case if they need it.
So I appreciate and I congratulate you on your newborn. But I like to know, how are you going to be keeping a responsible position of in the establishment when you're not there. If you're not there, you don't know what's happening there, in all true honesty.
No, of course, and I agree with you in that. But I'm gonna start going more often now. You know, and I feel a lot safer. We all got vaccinated, and I know that there's a new mandate where you now we have, as restaurants, we have some more protection. You know, before customers come in, they don't have a mask, they're not vaccinated. You turn them down, they make an issue for anything. You know, now it's gonna be a mandate where by a certain time we have the right to refuse service, and we have the law on our side. So I'll be, I feel more comfortable now being able to be there more hands-on.
Do you have a restaurant?
Sorry?
Do you have a restaurant in there?
Yeah, it's a restaurant and bar.
How many? What's your capacity?
About 70 people.
70? And Sarge, you saying that this is the only violation that we have on this particular place? And when,
Yeah, correct. That was the only one.
and when was it?
I don't remember the exact date.
Six
I'd
months
have to
ago?
look. Maybe 6 months ago.
6 months ago?
Yeah, it could be.
All right.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Cynthia has her hand up.
No, I don't.
Yes,
Oh,
you
I
do.
don't know why. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. We need to have in the office your contract with the security officer or with the security company. In the absence of that, do we have any other questions from the committee members?
Well, is it possible for us to get, because we keep all of the copies, so from the people who work in the security, so if it's possible for him to get us that, so we can stick it in his file, that would be great.
So we're going to ask, is going to present to the office the contract and the license of those that are working with him.
Yes.
In the light of the fact that we had an issue with him with unlicensed security guard, so we need copies of the contract and also the copy of the particulars of whosoever is working. I know from time to time the security company may have to change the staff, but it's important that we have the information of the security company so that we can always get in touch with the security company. As a matter of fact, Mr. Pedro, we are going to get to your security company and we're going to ask them how long they've been working with you. On that, if we're going to ask them to provide us a notarized document that they have been working with you, as you say, for the past 3 months, at least minimum of 3 months. If they cannot provide us with a notarized document, which if they lie on that document, they are subject to, it's a crime. So we're going to ask them for that notarized document that they have been working with you. And if they provide that to us, that will satisfy us. But if they are not willing to provide us with that document, that means you are lying to us today. And we need the contract, and we need, like the office have said, we need a photocopy of whosoever is your security officer, in addition to the documentation from your security company.
I just have one question. Sorry to interrupt. So like I said, I had also been hiring independent security guards. So what would I do with those? Do I send you guys a copy of their licenses?
So Mr. Pedro, why don't you tell us that you are going to make sure that you hire a licensed security company and provide us a document, instead of telling us that you have had for the past 3 months when you know that you did not have it?
No,
The fact here
excuse me,
is that,
sorry.
Mr. Pedro, we want
Yes.
to work. We want to work with you. We want your business to do well. I want you to understand that this community is interested in you being in our community, doing business and succeeding. But what we do not want is for you to come before the committee and lie to us or give us false information. So don't give us false information.
No, I wasn't.
Just
I
assure
guess you didn't hear
Mr.
me
Pedro,
clearly
Mr. Pedro, I want to help you.
Yeah, of
Say to the
course.
committee today that you are going to provide us with the proper documentation we have going forward so that we can have something concrete and real to present to the community board. We are willing to forgive you for the past, but because the sergeant said there has not been any violation for the past 6 months or so, let's go with the fact that you have not had an issue. Can you please provide us with the contracts and the copy of your security personnel?
Okay, no
Okay.
problem.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Please, can I have a motion from any of the committee members?
You want a motion for what, Reverend John?
To approve his application?
Well,
Reapplication.
his application,
It's not an application, it's just a follow-up.
right, his license expires November 30th. He just came back here at our request to follow up with this.
Okay.
So you're asking him to provide the documents. Let him provide the documents, and then we can entertain this when the license is going to expire. I'm sure Mr. Ruiz will come back. And
Okay.
then
Thank
when he's doing the renewal. But he himself should supply us with this information. It's not for us to be digging into stuff. We shouldn't be doing that. So if he's claiming he'll give it to us, Sergeant Guglielmo said he already cleared it up. Just give us the new information, and when he comes for the renewal, we can entertain it then.
Thank you. And Mr. Pedro, keep in mind that your license is up for renewal in November. You want to keep your record as clean as possible.
Yes, I have that in mind. Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. Mr. Manager, any other item?
No, up to number 6, and it's old business.
Any old business?
Hearing none. Item number 7 is new business.
New business. I just have a little announcement to make.
So hold on, we got announcements, but is there any new
Okay.
business? There's no new business as of right now. So we're up to item number 8, announcements.
Yes, I just want to encourage every one of us to please help with encouraging our community residents to get vaccinated, because our district and the neighborhood continue to have a low rate of people that are vaccinated. And of course, you know that this COVID-19 is not going anywhere soon. The new variant
Thank you.
it's creating so much problems. And so even for our businesses to be able to open fully, for the restaurants and for the bars to be able to open, and for them to be able to admit people, they need proof of vaccination. And as long as we still stay below the city expected rate or level of vaccination, it continues to affect our businesses and affect the community as a whole. So I really want to appeal to every one of us as trusted voices, as community leaders. Let's do whatever we can. I know we cannot force anybody to be vaccinated, but most of us that have been vaccinated, we know that the vaccination is a better option to being, to being sick with COVID. So I am really concerned about the survival of the businesses in our community, most especially those of them that depend on patronage of people coming in, eating, and maybe having a bottle of beer or something like that. So as long as this community continues to stay, below the expected level of vaccination, it's going to continue to affect our businesses. And of course, we also know that we have problem with drug and substance abuse. And if our population are not vaccinated, the risk of the people that are drug users and abusers increases. They are not only interacting among themselves, they're interacting with their family, with their friends. And very soon our children will be going back to school. So we are, we're dealing with enormous burden in the community. And I just pray and hope that we all will try as much as possible to use our good offices to see how we can encourage one another to take some proactive action so that life in the community will return to normal. Thank you very much.
Ralph, anybody else?
I have an announcement. I just want to announce that it looks like we got back our email. So, we were hacked for like 2 weeks there. It looks like we have access to it. So I see that Chairman Tavarius has his hand raised, Special Events Committee Chair.
Yeah, I just want to announce the Halloween parade, October 23rd, 2021 is making a big comeback this year. That's it.
We have a Special Events Committee meeting Thursday at 12 o'clock. And I'm sure that's going to be an item on the agenda to talk about the Halloween parade. So if anyone is interested, just reach out. We'll send you the link. I think the link we're going to have the agenda up tomorrow for that meeting. So very exciting. Thank you. Thank you, V. There are no other announcements. I think that's it, Reverend.
Yeah, Ralph, are you there?
Yes, Sergeant. Of course. Go ahead.
Yeah, just real quick. I've kind of been out of the loop. I don't know if anybody, if you guys are up to date or if you guys know, but we're very proud to announce that Captain Shublin is now Deputy Inspector Shublin. So he was promoted last week. It was a long time coming. Well-deserved promotion for now Deputy Inspector Jeremy Shublin. So the next time you guys see him, definitely remember to congratulate him.
Yes. Thank you. Sorry.
Thank you.
And I can't wait for the time when we'll be able to call you LT. How about that?
I might be retired before then, Ralph.
Hold on. Isn't the council meeting the 16th as well?
Council meeting is this Thursday at 6
So the precinct council meeting it's virtual this Thursday at 6 p.m.
Right. If you need the link for that, let us know.
Ralph, can you make sure I get the link, please?
Sure. And I want to also wish board member Maggie Ortiz best of luck as she's going into surgery tomorrow. So
Yes, Maggie.
And we're
Thank
behind,
you.
we're behind
Thank you.
Maggie, my prayers with you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And also, I would like to extend my gratitude to all the community board members that do find the time to join us in this particular committee meeting. We really appreciate, your support.
Yes, Reverend, I want to acknowledge Mr. Anthony Rodriguez.
You're welcome.
He's a new board member, and we haven't assigned the new board member committees, but Anthony has been attending a lot of the committee meetings so he can get a better feel, and he's been with us this whole time. So, Anthony, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And last but not the least, my church, Word of Life International, is hosting a community conversation on COVID-19 vaccine on Thursday at 6 p.m. I will send the invite to the district manager so that he can send it to the board members in case anybody wants to join us on that conversation. This Thursday, the director for the T2 Bronx director will be doing presentation. And then also on Saturday at 10 a.m. at Word of Life, 830 Union Avenue, we are having a town hall, also with the Test and Trace, the director of the Test and Trace Bronx, Mr. David Caliboli. In case you happen to be in the neighborhood, stop by and join us for a community conversation. The essence of the conversation is just to give opportunity to the community residents to talk about the COVID-19, the vaccine, the issues, the concerns that they have, and to see how we can address some of their immediate concerns like access and other issues that can help us to increase vaccination and stay safe in community board 2, 3, and 1. Thank you. In the absence of any other thing, can one of the committee members move a motion for adjournment?
Motion by Crespo.
You are not my committee member, Mr. Chairman.
Motion it.
Seconded by,
Motion by Barbara.
all in favor say yes. See, Mr. Crespo, you taught me.
Yeah, I guess I did.
Thank you very much. Good night, everyone. God bless you. Good night.
Everybody.
Thank you.
Bye, Maggie. Bye, everyone.
Good night.
Bye.